Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Here we are tonight live for the season finale of the Leave the Pack Super Series. We've got 150 laps on tap here tonight. We've got qualifying underway right now. Everybody just about done with their qualifying runs. Justin Elvis making his return to the Leave the Pack iRacing League. Elvis continuing his qualifying run. As qualifying very close throughout your top 10. Look at the gap. James Pileski, Mark Keedeman, nearly identical lap times. We'll see what they went. Very close. Everybody down into the 13.3s. The best lap times we saw in practice were 13.2, so the pace slowed down just a little bit here in qualifying. But qualifying is nearly concluded. We have one more driver hopping into the session joining us here this evening, Easton Swain. Let's look at some of the info on the track here tonight. 83-degree track temp, so a little hot, but it should cool off as we get later into the evening. 3/8 of a mile here at Lanier. It's an interesting track. It has a kind of a circular line. You don't have much of a straightaway here, and those corners are very, very slow, and you have to roll them around the bottom side. But qualifying has concluded. We'll get our starting lineup up here shortly. But first, we will grab a word from our fast qualifier and points champion here in the Leave the Pack Super Series. So grabbing a word, we'll talk to Mark Keedeman, see if we can't find him up in the booth. Up into the broadcast booth. Mark Keedeman, you got a copy?
I do, sir.
Alrighty. Well, we've got 150 laps on tap here tonight. I believe I've just been told we don't get a set of tires, which is a mistake on my end. So that's
How
gonna throw
dare
a wrench
you.
into things. That's going to throw a wrench into things. I apologize live on the air. But anyways, Mark, you're going to have to start from the rear from this one after winning the past couple weeks. What can you do to put that 2 machine in victory lane?
Considering that this is the longest race of the season, I think just gonna have to bide our time, especially with no tires. We're just gonna ride around for a little while and hopefully see what we got. Overall, just really happy about the way this season turned out. I didn't expect to win as much as I have this season by any means, especially with some of the competition we have here. But you know, just looking for a good race all in all. Don't matter where we come home tonight, just looking for a good finish.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting race here tonight. 150 laps, no tires. Sounds like you've got a decent game plan, Mark, but anyways, good luck to you. I'll let you get prepared for this 150 lapper.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, folks. That was Mark Keedeman in the number 2 machine. And we will get our starting lineup. Mark Keedeman, James Pileski, Carter Hollingsworth, Brandon Elvis, Brady Cox, Chris Smith. That's your top 6. Dale Ogburn starting in the 7th position. Brian Gravel going to roll off in the 8th spot in the 22. Justin Coleman starts 9th in the 14. Caleb Thompson will roll off 10th in the 04. Back behind him, it's going to be Trey Ashworth and Andrew Deal, Jeremiah Woods Jr., Logan Drumheller, Zach Murphy, and Justin Elvis. Then Easton Swain in the 33 rounding out your field back behind. They get the 1 to go signal. And James Pileski and Brandon Elvis will lead us to the green. Pileski through turns 3 and 4 into the restart zone. The green is up, the green is out, and we are underway here at Lanier. Into turns 1 and 2 they go for the first time. They're side by side for that top spot. Carter Hollingsworth able to get down into that second spot. Elvis will slip, or sorry, Hollingsworth into the third spot. Elvis will slip into that second spot. And everybody trying to find a place in line here early on. With no tires here at Lanier, it's going to be a tough race. You're going to have to save that tire as much as you can. And track position is going to be a huge deal in tonight's race. But what you don't want to do is burn those tires up early. You cannot overheat those tires early on in the race. Right now we are 4 laps in out of 150, a long one here at Lanier. We watched Caleb Thompson and Trey Ashworth battling for the 10th spot. Ashworth up on the top side. They've got Zach Murphy back behind him, your modified champion here in Season 2. And Ashworth continuing to battle up on that outside lane. Up front, James Pileski out to about a 7 car length advantage. He is really opening up that gap here early on. Brandon Elvis running in the second spot with Carter Hollingsworth in tow. It's going to be a long, long race here at Lanier tonight, and what you don't want to do is overheat those tires. And the caution flag flies in turns 1 and 2. I think everybody was able to check up there, but Chris Smith went around in the 80 machine. Looked like Logan Drumheller got into the back bumper of Chris Smith. Nowhere for Justin Elvis to go. Get one more look at that. On board with Logan Drumheller here in the 5. We'll see if the 80 got into the wall first. Yeah, it looked like the 5 of Drumheller just got into the back bumper of Chris Smith. And that'll put us under caution for the first time here tonight. Coming into this evening, Mark Keedeman able to lock up the points championship, 157 points ahead of Brandon Elvis after last week's race at Stafford Speedway. So the field gets the 1 to go signal here. We are about to send them back underway. James Pileski, Brandon Elvis side by side for that top spot. As we work our way into the restart zone, James Pileski, Brandon Elvis go at the same time, and we are back underway. Pileski down into 3 and 4, going to lead the first lap here on the restart. Look at Dale Ogburn up in that 4th spot. He started 7th in this one, already up inside of the top 5, looking for more on the outside of Brady Cox. We are 15 laps into this one. A couple cars battling behind him. Justin Elvis, Jeremiah Woods in the 222. This race is going to be about who can save the tires the best, who can keep the car underneath them the longest. We had a 150 lapper in the late model stocks last night. The difference is those guys got a set of tires. The goal was to have a set of tires tonight, but obviously On my end, I made a little bit of a mistake creating the session and did not give these guys a set of tires. So that's going to be an interesting factor we're going to keep an eye on the whole race. So right now we're just riding in line, 18 laps into this one. Brandon Elvis sitting in the second spot. James Pileski having his best run of the season so far as of right now. It's been a rough go for that 93 machine at times. He currently sits 5th in the point standings. 5 top 5 finishes, 8 top 10s. Just has not had the best of luck. Hasn't been able to find victory lane just yet. Coming into this evening, Pileski had only led 54 laps. Right now he has led from the get-go, 21 laps in, still early on. A lot of time left to go here at Lanier. Continuing to put laps in the books up front. Carter Hollingsworth starting to put a little bit of pressure on Brandon Elvis. Hollingsworth making a rare super late model start. We usually see him over in the late model stock division on Tuesday nights. He got a win earlier on this season at IRP. James Pileski continues to put laps into the books. 26 laps in at the line right there, so we are 1/6 of the way into this one. Biggest movers so far, Easton Swain in that 33 machine up to the 10th spot. Started this race out back in the 17th position. We've got 16 cars on the lead lap. Trey Ashworth bringing the 8 machine pit side. Unfortunately got some damage after a little bit of contact with the wall. Had to bring that car pit side, lost a lot of ground. Chris Smith in the 80 machine, well off the pace of Caleb Thompson up ahead of him. I think he got out of the pits a little bit late. He is the first car on tap to go a lap down. James Pileski about a straightaway behind. So we're going to keep an eye on that gap to Christopher Smith as James Pileski continues to show the way. He is a Leave the Pack winner one time in his career. That was in the modified division back at the Langley Speedway. Pileski with 38 starts in the league. This is number 39. The driver with the most starts is the guy sitting in the 14th spot right now, Zach Murphy, in the 29. Him and Caleb Thompson well behind your lead pack. Mark Keedeman as well. All of them seem to be just waiting in line, knowing that early on you cannot push very hard. So we've got a couple drivers battling for position. Jeremiah Woods in the 222s. Brian Grable in the 22. Andrew Dealer right there in the 51. One of my old paint schemes. Decided to hand it over to him for the night. We'll see what he can do. Currently running in the 9th spot in his super debut. And I can assure you that he does not have that much experience in this car. So a learning experience tonight for the 51. We'll keep an eye on him as things get a little bit later. Justin Coleman looking underneath Dale Ogburn for the 4th spot, sorry, the 5th spot. It looks like Ogburn going to move up the racetrack there. Coleman going to go to the bottom. So move Justin Coleman into the top 5. Your winner last night in the Lead the Pack Late Model Series here at Lanier. Woods on the bottom underneath Ogburn as well. He's trying to take advantage. Brian Grable back behind. He's got a couple super late model wins this season. The last one coming at his home track, Nashville Fairgrounds. His first win of the season coming back in race number 2 at the New Smyrna Speedway. Other than those two, it's mostly been Mark Keedeman. I actually went to Victory Lane at USA a couple weeks ago. In a one-off start, decided to hop behind the wheel for one of those streams. And we ended up going to Victory Lane in crazy fashion there at the end. But that was a one-off. We're back up in the booth, full time now, and oh, contact there. Woods in the triple twos. Started to go around, and Andrew Deal does go around. It looks like he might be able to get that car back in the right direction. Waiting for a caution. It looks like the caution flag caution flag does fly. The field comes down pit road, likely going to be getting fuel here. A couple of drivers elect to come down pit road. James Pileski coming down pit road, your race leader. Brandon Elvis, Brady Cox. Coleman in the 14. And that's going to do some shuffling with our field. That'll give the lead to Carter Hollingsworth in the number 28 machine. And these will be his first laps led in, I believe, the Pack Super Series. Attempted to run a couple weeks ago at one of the racetracks. I don't remember which one it was, but decided to back out before the race. Said, nope, not quite. As they get the 2 to go signal, lap times, or caution laps going very quick here tonight. Not a lot of time to get those cars out of pit road. Looks like everybody going to be able to get off of pit road. And 1 to go signal given to these drivers. One to go signal down the back straightaway. Carter Hollingsworth, Brian Grable going to lead the field into the restart zone. And the green is out. We are back underway. Hollingsworth slightly sideways on the start there. A couple drivers having some trouble through the zone, but it looks like everybody able to get away cleanly. Hollingsworth going to the race lead. Brian Grable second. Mark Keedeman third. How about Zach Murphy up into the 4th spot? Brandon Elvis back behind him on the outside of Caleb Thompson going into turns 3 and 4. This time by lap 50 on the board. And Carter Hollingsworth is your race leader down the back straightaway. Brian Grable took a peek to the inside in turns 1 and 2, but Hollingsworth was able to shut the door. And this time by, we've got 100 laps to go. $50 laps in, 100 laps to go for Carter Hollingsworth. In his first official super late model start, leading laps on lap number 50. Chris Smith able to get by Zach Murphy there for the 4th spot. Back behind the guy that led the majority of the start of this race, James Pileski trying to work his way back forward. Gets by Brady Cox. Easton Swain going to follow suit as well. Up front, your top 3 all right there in a line. Look at the lap times this time around. Grable and Keedeman just a little bit quicker than your race leader, Carter Hollingsworth, at this point. Hollingsworth up the racetrack a little bit there. You definitely do not want to get up the track and start pushing on the exit of the corner, because that is going to hurt the right front tire. But you also don't want to get loose off the corner and burn up that right rear. It's really a balancing game here at the Lanier National Speedway, as here comes Mark Keedeman to the inside. Keedeman down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to look for that second position. Grable up top, going to give way for now. Move Mark Keedeman up to second on lap 58. And oh, trouble on the track. Brady Cox around on the exit of turns 1 and 2. The yellow flag flies once again. We'll see what happened here. He was battling with Logan Drumheller. Drumheller in the 5, into the back bumper. 44 of Elvis also right there as well. Try to look what happened here. Yeah, a couple cars turned around sideways in that. Carter Hollingsworth bringing the 28 machine down pit road to get a little bit of fuel. And that will hand over the race lead to Mark Keedeman. A couple drivers pit early on lap 10. Is Brady Cox on pit road. Carter Hollingsworth able to get the 28 machine back out of the pits. The pace car lights are off down into turns 3 and 4. 62 laps in. Out of 150, Brian Grable, Mark Keedeman through the restart zone. Good jump for the bottom lane. We are back underway. Keedeman on the bottom gets that good jump. Brian Grable going to get into the second spot. Chris Smith tries to get there in the 80 machine. They'll battle up off the corner, but it's going to go to Brian Grable. Back behind, Zach Murphy trying to hang on the outside lane around Brandon Elvis. 29 using that top side to his advantage, rolling that momentum. Back behind, we're just about 3 wide. Dale Ogburn gets underneath Easton Swain. Logan Drumheller up the racetrack there as well. Carter Hollingsworth in the 28 machine to the bottom underneath Drumheller, trying to move his way back forward. Justin Coleman underneath Zach Murphy, trying to take over the 5th spot. James Pileski right there as well. Murphy going to tuck in behind the 93 of Pileski. Up front, Chris Smith looking on the back bumper of Brian Grable right now. Both Smith and Grable pit on lap 10. Down into turns 3 and 4. Your top 3 all right there in a row as we hit lap number 70. Laps starting to tick away pretty quickly here. Only about 0.4 of fall off throughout the field. So everybody's staying pretty consistent. Up front, Grable on the back bumper of Mark Keedeman right now, trying to figure out a way to get to the back bumper and underneath. But still at a pretty good pace. Keedeman not too far ahead of that 22 machine. Everybody's still all right in a line. And everybody likely in the same mindset of, we gotta be patient here. As lap times are not gonna matter until that last probably 30 laps where everybody's tires have been through a beating. James Pileski right there, you saw get around Justin Coleman, so move him up into the top 5 once again. He'll try to track down Brandon Elvis for that 4th spot. This time by halfway in, halfway home for Mark Kiedemann. Kiedemann this season in the Super Late Model division has led 701 laps. That's coming into tonight. He's adding to that total here. He's got 8 wins in his 12 starts. Had a rough start to the season. A couple run-ins with his teammate Carter Russo at Kern County and New Smyrna. But finally got the monkey off of his back at IRP, and from that point on, he went on a tear, winning 4 in a row. Coming from the back twice, South Boston and Myrtle Beach. Trying to do that once again here tonight. Back behind for the 9th spot, Carter Hollingsworth underneath Dale Ogburn on lap number 80. Pretty lengthy green flag run right now, 20 laps. We have Ben Green. We'll see how long this continues as Hollingsworth is able to clear Dale Ogburn for that spot. Hollingsworth under pressure from the 33 of Easton Swain. Looks like Hollingsworth able to hang on to that spot. Up front, Mark Kiedemann starting to open up that gap a little bit to Brian Gravel. Chris Smith back behind right there as well. Up the track goes Hollingsworth, and oh, Easton Swain goes up the track. And that's going to bring out the yellow. There was contact, I believe, down into turns 1 and 2. And yeah, big time shove right there. Back down into turns 3 and 4. Hollingsworth got to the back bumper. And around went the 33, locked it up, and the caution flag flew. And we're going to re-rack them and re-stack them. That's gonna reset us here on lap 87 of 150. It's been an exciting one here. We've had some cars shuffling around up front for the race lead. They should be getting the 1 to go signal here this time around. Mark Kiedemann one to go signal given to these drivers. We will double them up here with about 60 laps to go. Kiedemann and Grable once again through the restart zone. Space car is off. They pick up the pace. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Good start for the inside lane once again. Mark Kiedemann going to be clear down the back straightaway Grable going to get into the second spot. Chris Smith and Elvis battle for third back behind. James Pileski and Justin Coleman do more battle for that fifth spot. Top lane starting to look a little bit stronger here as Elvis and Coleman roll around the outside. Looks like Smith in the 80 machine going to drop back to fourth, and he'll have to defend from Justin Coleman in the 14. A little bit of contact there down into 3 and 4. Pileski down underneath Chris Smith, trying to take over the fifth spot. Inside lane looking a little bit tougher here as we get further into this one. And Pileski going to take over that spot. No, around goes the 93. Around went the 93. We watched it right there. You saw what happened. We'll look one more time. You saw the 93 clear to the inside. The 80 machine tucked back in behind. And around went James Pileski. Tough break for Zach Murphy in the 29. He got up into the outside wall. We'll watch this from one more camera. Down into 1 and 2, the 93 machine able to get clear. Yeah, you see the contact there. Bumper right to the back bumper of the 93. Nowhere for Justin Elvis to go. Zach Murphy also involved in the 29. Tough break for the 29 of Murphy. He was running close to the top 5 there. As they get the 1 to go signal. Just shy of the lap 100 mark. We've got 13 cars on the lead lap. Don't think Zach Murphy's going to be able to get that car back out, unfortunately, as the pace car drops to the bottom side. Mark Keedeman, Brian Grable once again through the restart zone. We're back underway. Good start there for Mark Keedeman. Good start for Brandon Elvis. He'll jump up into the into the third spot. Battling underneath Brian Grable for the second position. Grable trying to use that outside lane to his advantage here. Elvis down low, kind of leaning on that 22 machine. 50 laps to go at the line, 100 laps in. Keedeman trying to put it in victory lane one final time this season. Brandon Elvis fighting for the second spot. We've got trouble back behind. Justin Elvis, Carter Hollingsworth tangled up in turns 3 and 4. What happened there? 28 of Hollingsworth, and looked like they just got squeezed 3 wide. There was contact down into turns 1 and 2. Let's watch this one more time. You see the contact, the back bumper right there. The 44 kind of got a little bit sideways. He went up the racetrack and looked like just a racing deal there. Pileski, I don't think, knew that they were quite 3 wide. That'll put us back under yellow once again. And they will get the 1 to go signal. A quick caution here, as we are inside of 50 laps to go, 45 to go. And they come back around. .45 laps to go in the super late model season. Mark Keedeman, Brian Grable through the restart zone. Once again, we're back underway. A much better start that time from Brandon Elvis in the 54 machine. He'll shoot to the inside of Brian Grable for the second spot. Can he make that pass work? The outside lane definitely looked a little bit stronger that last caution. But what can Brandon Elvis do as they wreck back behind? James Pileski in the 93 right there, battling with the 222 of, yeah, big contact there. Pileski in the 93. Into the back bumper of Woods. And back under caution, a quick run there. We had quite a few green flag runs early on, but now 7 cautions here at the Lanier National Speedway. This time by, it'll be 40 laps to go. Keteman trying to pick up victory number 9 on the season. This time by, it'll be a single file restart. They didn't get a lap in there under green, so they will go single file. Let's see what they can do. Keteman up the racetrack. And into the restart zone they go. We are back underway. 40 laps to go here at Lanier. Down into turns 1 and 2. Mark Keteman a much better start that time. Brian Grable able to get into second back behind. Chris Smith working underneath Easton Swain. That's the battle for the 8th spot on track. Logan Drumheller up in front of them as well. Carter Hollingsworth in the 28. He's trying to move back forward after leading laps early on. But up front, Mark Keteman holds the race lead right now. Not by much. Brian Grable and Brandon Elvis all right there in a line. We've still got 35 laps to go when they get back across right here. So still some time left for your front competitors to find something here and get around that 2 machine. See who has saved the most tires at the end. Carter Hollingsworth able to get around Easton Swain. Jeremiah Woods trying to follow. But up front, Mark Keteman, Brian Grable stretch out a little bit. Brandon Elvis kind of dropped off a little bit that lap. Lost some ground there in the 3rd spot. Brian Grable in the 22 right there behind Mark Keteman, though. They've been eye for eye all these past couple laps. As we watch your lap history between the 3. Grable a little bit slower that time. These drivers have been close. We've got 30 laps to go. We'll see who's able to get the job done here. Still a long ways. Look a little bit further back through our field. Logan Drumheller, back bumper of Dale Ogburn. That's the battle for 6th. Drumheller up the track into 1. That's going to open up the door for Christopher Smith. Chris Smith down on the bottom. Carter Hollingsworth trying to follow suit. like Hollingsworth will take that spot into turns 3 and 4. Chris Smith now setting his sights on Dale Ogburn, and all kinds of sideways out of turn 4. Up front, your top two continue to match lap times. All of your front competitors pretty close there in a line, so we'll see who's got the speed at the end of this one. 25 laps to go. It is crunch time now. Keedeman up into the outside wall a little bit. That's going to open up a little bit of a door for Brian Grable. He's right there. Does Grable have anything left in the tank here? 24 laps to go. The gap is only about a car length between the two. Down the back straightaway, you see Grable really driving into the entry of the corner, trying to make something happen. Grable still a little bit quicker that last time. Back behind him, Carter Hollingsworth around into turns 3 and 4. Around goes the 28 of Hollingsworth. And that's going to bring out the caution here inside of 20 laps to go. Around they went. We'll look one more time to try and see. Yeah, it looked like the 28 machine kind of thought he might have been clear. I thought he was too. But that one machine, or 01 machine I should say, was right there. And around they went. That'll put us under yellow once again. As the 1 to go signal is displayed to these drivers, we have 19 laps to go here. Mark Keedeman trying to hang on for his 9th win of the season, but do Brian Grable, Brandon Elvis, or Justin Coleman have anything to say about it? We'll watch here with 18 laps to go. Through the restart zone, the green is up, the green is out. We're underway. Into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go. Grable right behind your race leader, Mark Keedeman, down into turns 3 and 4. 17 to go this time. And Grable into that second spot. He's right there on the back bumper of Keedeman. How quickly can he get into his rhythm here? As look at that. Justin Coleman makes a move to the outside. He'll take the 3rd spot away from his teammate Brandon Elvis. We've got 16 laps to go. Brian Grable all over the back bumper of Mark Keedeman for the lead. Can he do anything here? 15 to go at the line. Justin Coleman's also right there as well. Justin Coleman right there waiting in the wings, trying to find a way underneath Brian Grable, and eventually Mark Keedeman. 14 to go at the line. Time is running out. Keedeman only has about a car length advantage to Brian Grable. Grable able to drive that car so much deeper into the corner. Keedeman's loose, up out of 4. And Grable is right there. Does he have anything to the inside? Just about that time. He's going to have to duck back in line. Nearly contact through the center that time. 12 laps to go here at Lanier. 12 laps to go at Lanier. They're side by side back behind for 5th. But all eyes are on the battle for the lead here with 11 laps to go. Couple cars side by side. Caleb Thompson, Jeremiah Woods back behind. But up front, 10 laps to go for Mark Keedeman. Does Brian Grable have anything left in that 22 machine to find a way to the inside? Justin Coleman right there as well in the 14. He'd like to win 2 nights in a row to end out the season. Through turns 1 and 2 they go. And oh, they wreck back behind. Big time trouble in turns 1 and 2. A couple cars bouncing around will stay green somehow. But a big one happened back behind there. 7 laps to go for Mark Keteman into turns 1 and 2. Trying to hang on. Brian Grable right there in the second spot back behind. Just does not have enough to get to the inside. Justin Coleman's right there putting the pressure on for third, or for second. Into 3 and 4 they go. Keteman able to get the run up off the corner and hold the gap. Four laps to go this time for Mark Keteman. Brian Grable is right there, but can he do anything here? Does he have anything left in the 22? Justin Coleman right there, waiting in the wings for something to happen up in front of him 3 more times around. 3 more laps for Mark Keteman. He's opened up a little bit of a gap here with 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go for Mark Keteman. Trying to pick up the victory in his final race of the season. Into turns 3 and 4, Brian Grable peeks up a little bit closer. White flag is out 1 more time around. Final lap for Mark Keteman. Into turns 1 and 2, Brian Grable dives it in pretty hard. Into turns 3 and 4 for a final time. Grable not going to be able to get there, and it's going to be Mark Keteman winning here at Lanier. Mark Keteman wins the last 3 races of the season and heads to victory lane here at Lanier National Speedway. Keteman able to come from the back for the 3rd time this season in the Super Late Model Division. He picks up his 9th win of the season in the Super Late Models. We're going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers here. Starting with our 3rd place finisher up into the broadcast booth. Justin Coleman up into the broadcast booth. 2 nights in a row, you got a copy.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Alrighty, well, 3rd place for you here tonight, Justin. Started in the 9th spot in the 14. Did not have tires, and it looked like you were one of the guys that saved maybe the best there at the end. Had a very fast race car, just kind of ran out of laps there up front.
Yeah, most of that race, I just kind of rode around and tried to save my tires as much as I could. And then the last 50, man, I turned it up, and I guess we had some good tires still under us, but just nowhere to go, man. It's hard to pass at this track without laying the bumper on somebody, and it's kind of sketchy to do that. So we'll take 3rd, man. It's another podium, so we're climbing our way back. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah, you definitely had a good couple of runs to end out the season here in the Leave the Pack iRacing League. Win last night, 2nd place here tonight. 3rd place here tonight. Looked like you might have had something there at the end. The car looked very fast. You were all over Grable's back bumper there, but just, like I said, ran out of laps. But who do you have to thank for another podium finish here tonight, Justin, to wrap out the super season?
I just start out thanking WD Broadcasting Network for posting these. It's always fun to go back and watch them. Thank you for putting on the league. Thank my team, ECR, Brandon and Chris. Thank all my sponsors, Coastal Performance, Shock Eye Racing Performance, Barry Ellis Performance and Fabrication, Gibbs Brothers Construction, Parker Brothers Window Tinting, Coleman Design, and Gibbs Brothers Construction. And like I said, just thank you again for hosting all this stuff and putting this deal on, man. We appreciate it, all the work you put into it.
Yes, sir. It's definitely been a lot of fun this season and Leave the Pack. Thanks to you, Justin, for coming back. I know you took a couple weeks off, needed a break there for a minute, but I'm glad you could come back and have a good end to your season, a win last night in third place here tonight. Congratulations to you, Justin, and hopefully we can see you back next season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it a lot, man.
Yep. Alrighty, folks, that was your third place finisher. Now up into the broadcast booth, our second place finisher here tonight. Oh, so close. We just ran out of laps there. Brian Grable up into the booth. You get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, second place here tonight. Started in the 8th spot, worked your way up into the top 5. A little bit of pit strategy thrown in there as well. But ended up in the 2nd spot. Looked like you might have had something for Keteman. Just couldn't quite make that pass there at the end.
Yeah, I definitely did. Me and him was just talking about that, and I didn't realize how close we was, or I would have tried to found something else. Coleman really ran me really good there. It was really cool there after that last restart. Us three was up there kind of all playing bumper tag, you know. It felt really good to be able to race that close and not have to worry about spinning somebody out because we had a good group of guys up front.
Yeah, it was definitely a good race towards the front. A little bit of chaos back behind there towards the middle part, but you guys had a good run there in the front. Second spot here tonight, Mr. B Gravy. Who do you have to thank for a podium finish to round out the season in Supers?
I'd like to thank you again for putting all this on between mods, late model stocks, supers, and street stocks. It's been a really fun season. I'd like to congratulate Mark, Elvis, Brooks, and Murphy all in their championships this year.
Yeah, definitely had some good champions. A couple close battles there at the end. Supers weren't so close, but still a fun season here in Super Late Models. You picked up a couple wins yourself, Gravel, so that was good for you, even at your home track, Nashville Fairgrounds, so I'm sure that was a fun one. But nonetheless, second spot here tonight. Congratulations to you, and hopefully we can see you back next season. Sure we will.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, that was your second place finisher. Up into the broadcast booth, we will grab Mark Keteman, our winner here tonight and our champion in the Super Late Models. Mark, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, picked up the pole here tonight earlier on. Had to start from the rear after winning the last 2 races. Charged your way up through the field. There was a little bit of pit strategy thrown in there. Ended up with good track position there late. There was a couple cars that looked a little bit faster than you there towards the end, but you're able to hang on and pick up win number 9 on the season. How do you feel?
Pretty good, honestly. As you said, yeah, a little bit of pit strategy. I was already in the back, and knowing that we were short on fuel, I was just like, I'm already here. I'm already losing time, so let's just go ahead and fill her full with some fuel. And unfortunately, we got a really bad break with the way the caution timed out because we were really far behind the pack once the green came out after we pitted. But luckily, we got a couple cautions to get us back up there, and a lot of the lead cars pitted for fuel once I didn't have to, and then Carter pitted from the lead, and that gave us a lead, and it was not necessarily smooth sailing from then on, but I got to give a huge shout out to Brian Gravel, as we call him, Gravy or B Gravy, for giving me a hell of a race. This has probably been one of the more intense races I've had around this season. And that's the kind of racing I like to have, when I've got to look in my rear view and, see somebody trying to, get to me or move me, whatever it is, right? That's the racing I like to see. It's not a lot of fun to drive off from the field and race by myself. It's not. So I got to give a huge shout out to Brian. He gave me a hell of a race the whole night. He raced me really, really clean. That's what we love to see. And just overall really happy that we were able to come away with another win on the season, and more importantly, we came away with the points championship. So overall, a really great race.
Yeah, definitely a good run for you to end out the season. Coming into tonight, I think you led over 700 laps. You added to that total here at the end. But who do you have to thank, Mark, for a good run here at the end of the season, a win in the final race, number 9 on the season, and you are the winningest driver in Leave the Pack. Who do you have to thank?
First and foremost, RKM Setup Shop and Ryan Kuhn, Justin Brooks Designs, Coleman Designs, K Cars Race Cars, Clive Power Equipment, Friesen Performance, Topsoil Landscapes, all my friends and family. I know my mom and sister watched tonight's race, so a big shout out to them for watching. All my friends and family that support my sim racing stuff, they really seem to enjoy it, and that gives me, a lot of drive to really go out and try to just do my best in every race that I attempt, and Wade, everybody, you that puts this deal on for us. It's been a hell of a ride through all the 3 series that we've or 4 series that we've ran all season long. It's been a hell of a ride, and hopefully we'll be back next year and can take off on the same foot that we're on.
Yeah, definitely will be a fun season next season. A couple of things still up in the air, like this super late model class. We are debating whether or not we're going to bring it back this summer season, but nonetheless, Mark, congratulations to you on a dominant season here in Supers and a victory at Lanier to cap things off.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Winston.
Yep. That was your winner, Mark Keedeman. It's always good to hear these guys appreciative of the effort that goes in behind the scenes. We kind of slacked off a little bit on the Facebook side of things there at the end of the season, but next season we're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot of interesting races. We're going to have more events. It'll be exciting. You guys won't want to miss it. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in to the super late model season finale here at Lanier. I am your host, Winston Deal from the WD Broadcasting Network. If you guys like what you saw, hit that red subscribe button and leave a like on the video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It off for a final time in season 2. Signing it off. Y'all take it easy. Peace out.